Is it too late to fix the MCU? Let's talk about it. Hey there, my name is Caleb, and I love diving just a little bit deeper into our favorite TV shows and movies. If that's you as well, consider joining me by hitting that subscribe button and tap on that bell so you can stay notified when I post my newest videos and content as well. And without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. Let's answer the big question here. Is the MCU in shambles? Not totally. In fact, they've actually put out some decent content, especially as of recently with Loki Season 2 and the trailer for Echo. I think a lot of the projects themselves aren't bad. Let's just go down a couple of things that they need to fix, and just some of the problems that we're having here. Since Endgame, we have been introduced to a large amount of characters that we've really only seen once, then we don't really get to see them much. If you guys remember, when the MCU kind of first started, we got the first Avengers movie, and that was great. You know, we were introduced to these characters, and then we had them teaming up. It very much felt connected. It felt like these weren't just characters we were going to see once and done. I mean, we saw Iron Man and Captain America multiple times throughout. I mean, they were very prominent. Now we have the, characters like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, America Chavez, Elsa Bloodstone, all of these characters, and we've really only seen them like once. Quite honestly, it feels a little dry. I don't even think we've seen anything from the Eternals since that movie. So there's definitely a lack of connecting here. A big example I want to throw out to is like Avengers Age of Ultron. It took us years to get to that Infinity War type level. And I know a lot of people just want to get to get me to the next level of an Endgame event, right? We want to see the next Infinity War, the next Endgame, which would be Avengers the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. And that's fine that we want to get there. But in my opinion, we should have, maybe it's not even an Avengers movie. Maybe it's a Midnight Suns movie, or just some kind of movie like Captain America Brave New World, where we get to see these characters interact. Because much as people talk about how they didn't like Age of Ultron, or if they did, that's that movie brings together characters that we needed to bring together. Especially even the first Avengers movie. You know, you had all these characters that were separated, and by the end they became a team. What I don't want to happen is for us to get to Avengers the Kang Dynasty and then all these characters team up and it's like, well, we really didn't get to see them grow together. We got one movie with them all. That's not what I want. That's not what made Avengers Endgame special in the first place. What made it special is that you had all these side connections going on in the background. You had the Guardians in the first in Infinity War. You had Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Black Widow, Black Panther, all of these like things that you think they wouldn't like even connect, they did connect. They all had interlude little timelines. They're not timelines, but just stories.
All of you against all of me. How can you possibly hope to stop me?
Like the old man said, together.
And it worked because it felt like they were all living in the same universe. They all kind of had the same problems. And it doesn't even have to be an Avengers movie. It could simply be a movie about maybe just some kind of threat that, is like Ultron level, where maybe it's not quite Kang the Conqueror or Galactus, and it doesn't need to be, but some kind of threat that they can be like, oh, wow, that's not good. Because then we could see all of these characters, whatever they want to do, have fun with it. We just want to see these characters interact, Next up, let's talk about our big threat here, Jonathan Majors. So obviously, Jonathan Majors, in my opinion, has done a good enough job up until this point. We know that there's some kind of legal stuff going on with him right now that I don't really want to get too much into, but needless to say, we're not too certain if he's going to be specifically our future Kang. You have two options here. One, I heard this rumor that people were, let's go to Dr. Doom. No, let's not do that, because that'll make things worse. Then it'll feel like, these past 2 years have been like for nothing. That won't be fun. So what do they do with Jonathan Majors then? Recast. It's not like Marvel is some stranger to recasting characters. It's happened before. They can do it again. They recasted the Hulk. If If you can recast a character as big as the Hulk, pretty sure we can get through with recasting Kang the Conqueror. Biggest thing we need to do with Kang the Conqueror is make sure that he feels threatening and I don't want to be around that guy. A lot of people felt that Kang was not a threat in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I felt very differently. To give my quick thoughts on that, the whole point of having Kang in the quantum realm was that he didn't have access to time. And a lot of people are like, oh, we got taken down by ants. Well, if you've actually watched the movie, you'll realize that, you know, these ants aren't just ants that just traveled over him. You know, they're these like evolved beings, even past humans. So, you know, there's that. He holds his own pretty well, even without his technology, which not to mention, he's a menace with that too, because I don't know where they go when he kills them. I don't know if that just instantly kills them or if he wipes them out, but we've seen that Kang is a pretty decent threat. And one of my favorite shots in that movie is when we get the flashback with Janet and showing him like doing that and eliminating like timelines. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. Something that I would love if they did the next time we got to see Jonathan, maybe even at the end of Loki season 2, is if we get some kind of call or just signal from another universe. And it's like, maybe it's just like a radio thing, kind of similar to what they did at the very beginning of Infinity War.
This is the Asgardian refugee vessel, Statesman. We are under assault. I repeat, we are under assault.
If we can get that, but with Kang, we're like, they're eliminating their timeline, and it's like you could see him like in the background, like just brutally murdering people. That's what I want. And like being like, I'm coming for your universe. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want. If we could get just one scene of that, because I mean, Thanos, we didn't even get like big threatening pieces from him until like Guardians of the Galaxy, and even then it wasn't much. If we can get something like that from Kang, and for him to immediately establish his dominance, that's what I want to see. Heck, I wouldn't even be opposed to him showing up in What If, the new What If season that's supposed to come out later at the end of this year. That's what make him show up, make him prominent, you know what I mean? Next up, I want to talk about, where does the MCU go after Secret Wars? You know, what is the plan? How do we make the MCU not stale? First of all, we already know we're going to try and introduce the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. We know this, right? If Marvel is smart about this, they won't just be like, no, we're done with the whole extra universes thing. We're done with that. What they need to do is this. When Secret Wars is over, make it that you can have multiple universes. This is from this universe, this is from this universe. That's what made the comics so much fun, is that, yeah, okay, this character died, but what about this version of the character? And we know Hollywood likes money, so there's your money, there's your cash cow. You can have all these different versions of characters. You can have almost limitless storylines to tell. That's what people want about their superhero movies. They want that connection with certain characters, and then there will be so much to talk about. There'll be an overflowing amount of things to talk about in the MCU with different universes and all of this stuff, right? Most of all, we could get, like, for example, characters like Iron Man or Captain America. Maybe we don't recast the same old actors as them. I obviously wouldn't want that, if I'm being totally honest. But have new versions of these characters, or maybe characters that don't play as prominent of a role in this universe. Maybe a universe where they don't even exist at all, like some of the Spider-Man universes, something like that. For me personally, when I was watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we got those little tastes of what those universes were like, I wanted more. And that's what the multiverse is supposed to be about. All these different characters and how they live their lives in these other universes, that's what I want to see. I think that we definitely need to introduce more cosmic characters. Up until this point, they haven't done a very good job at making Captain Marvel feel like she's important in this world. She just kind of comes down and she's like, okay, I'm here to help, and then just flies away. I feel like we need more cosmic-based storylines to, you know, be in her realm. Because now that we're kind of done, I don't know if we're done with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it seems that way. We're not getting any more Guardians of the Galaxy whole movies. So we need to focus on characters that are cosmic, because Thor is just about wrapped up with his whole thing. The Eternals, that's kind of a cosmic thing, but I want to see characters like Nova. Adam Warlock is another one. I know a lot of people didn't like him. I personally wasn't one of those people. I would like to see what they do with his character. I would like to see what they do with a bunch of cosmic characters, because then it would feel more like Captain Marvel isn't just, you know, out. It's not like an excuse to say, oh, she's just out helping other planets. I get that that's what she's actually doing, but it's hard to remember that when most of the MCU takes place on Earth. Last thing I want to say, with the finale of Loki coming out this week and the Marvels coming out this week, is first of all, you know, just the tiniest bit excited about the Marvels for one reason: team up. Ms. Marvel, Spectrum, or Photon, whatever they call her, and Captain Marvel. That's something we desperately need. A team-up movie where these characters get to interact. That's what we need. And if we can get something, again, like that with Shang-Chi, golden. Golden. Finally, I just want to say that I want to see Loki come full circle. It seems like that's what they're doing for the finale of Loki here, that, you know, he was once this villain. He was the first ever Avengers villain, and now he's gonna come full circle and protect reality. That's what we want. That's what we want. And if we can see that happen, imagine watching the whole MCU and seeing that arc. It's really beautiful. It's a really great story to be told. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What things do you think the MCU can do to fix their in shambles mess? So thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, guys. Peace.